people are looking next to me. What was that?
Science. Yes. Science. I like science.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a moment of silence. Our last speech.
Yeah. I'll make it quick. Yeah, pretty quick. Science. Science is the foundation of all things understandable and unknown. The word science comes from the Latin word scientia, which means knowledge. I will not go into great detail on each of the many branches of science, because it will bore you to death, or ramble on and on about the hundreds of amazing scientists in human history, again, because I'll bore you to death, but rather I will focus on what science means to us. Science can be seen as the true basis in which everything seemingly amazing or miraculous becomes testable and understandable. In science, we find the building blocks of life, the meaning of structure, and the insight on how systems work. Through the use of science, we have become more knowledgeable, more powerful, and more intelligent than any other living animal on this planet, as far as we know. Science is the key to unlocking vast amounts of information. Science is the key to unlocking vast amounts of information. The particles in the air we breathe, vast magnetic solar flares that explode on the surface of the sun, gravity, photosynthesis, chemical reactions, atomic energy. These are just a few of the amazing discoveries that we have made in science. Through science, we have discovered a microscopic world of bacteria, viruses, and parasites, as well as the vast universe of innumerable stars, planets, comets, and other galaxies. Our eyes have been opened to the possibility of travel at high speed from one destination to another, from one country to another, from one planet to another, and even further. The tool of science, namely the scientific method, it's in there somewhere. The tool of science, namely the scientific method, is a process by which people who study sciences of all kinds can systematically examine, test, prove, and disprove theories or ideas. With this tool, scientists have broken away from the antiquated religions of the world, not that I have anything against religions, and proven that our knowledge of life, existence, and purpose has been limited and rather finite. With the tools of discovery, mankind has broken away from the bonds of ignorance and begun to explore the amazing world around us. In the old days, meaning not really that long ago in human terms, when a child asks his father, "What makes ocean waves?" his father might have said something like, "Well, the heavenly celestial bodies that circle the earth, and it's all about faith." He might have been wrong. The ocean waves are made by wind, ocean current, gravity, magnetic poles, and the gravitational pulls from our own moon. Isn't that amazing to know? The ocean, just said that. I remember so many times as a child listening to adults around me trying to explain things to children and fumbling for words. Some amazing scientists have investigated, explored, and discovered all these answers for us. Science is so vast of a subject that it has been broken into many different fields of study: oceanography, geology, physics, chemistry, biology, anatomy, physiology. The list goes on and on. It has taken thousands of years for humans to piece together so much information, and we are still learning more and more today. Some of the most renowned names in science, such as Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, Niels Bohr, Charles Darwin, Louis Pasteur, Marie Curie, Edwin Hubble, they all had vision and ingenuity. They spent countless hours, days, even years exploring hypotheses and experimentations. Through advancements in technology, experimentation, and exploration, we will continue to learn and understand more about the planet we live on and the space around us. The air we breathe, the stars we see in the night, and the foundation of everything that is built upon them. We can use science to understand them all.
Compose your final questions. Brittany's ready to go, followed by Don.
Yes.
Why did you choose science as your topic, right? Is that like part of your major?
Because for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years that I've been going to school, getting ready for physical therapy, I've gone through just about every science that there is, and it's pretty amazing, so I love science. I love being able to figure something out and have a reason why. Yes.
What's the most interesting thing you've learned science related?
God. That we are so finite and minuscule in this gigantic universe. Everything we think we know is a pinprick compared to everything that's out there, and it's still expanding as far as space and time and everything else that we don't know yet. It's amazing.
Do you have a specific favorite science?
That was mine.
I have two actually. Since I'm going into the medical field, I am always amazed at anatomy, physiology, kinesiology, everything that has to do with the human body. And my secondary favorite, obviously, is space exploration, terrestrial bodies, planets, stars.
There's like a young lady teacher here, teaches anatomy. She's like, it's incredible. Like,
Do you know what her name is?
I can't remember it right now, but there's only two teachers. There's like an older guy's been here for a long time, and then like a pretty young lady.
Is it here in name, what you say?
I might have already had her.
She's like it was the most intensive.
Are you gonna transfer to like a 4-year school to go to PT school, or?
I'm on a 2-year waiting list right now to get into UW because PT is one of the most competitive and difficult
I know my friend.
medical professions to get into. It's harder to become a physical therapist than it is to become a doctor.
She rides her bike here every
Yeah, she
day.
lives up
Okay, you said you studied space.
Yeah.
Sorry?
You said you kind of studied space. a little bit.
Yes, I love space.
Do you believe in aliens and all that then?
That's a good question. So, what we think of as aliens, we might be the aliens. I think that it would be ignorant of us little tiny human beings to think that we're the only living thing in this entire vast bazillion galaxy universe. That's my only input on it. I'll believe them when I meet them.
Good answer.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, just a couple of words about.
You don't need our questions, right?
I know. Yes, I'm going to collect your questions. That's your kind of your ticket out of here, so you can leave those back on the back table when you go.
I'm sorry for the late adding.
I have a staple somewhere.
So did you,
Somewhere.
jury grade?
Oh,
I feel like
can't
that's.
find it. I think I may have
Just fold it.
I think I may have
Bill Nye
But I think that's a geology testing kit.
Still later, it's over.
Yeah, I remember.
Has
Okay.
Jury grade.
Yeah. Well, yes, I wanted you to. So in the weekly folders, folks, there's a week 16 folder, which is comprised of 2 items. One is the self-reflection paper for tonight's speech that you presented, so make sure that you do that. That's due on May 6th at 5:30. And then the final exam, again, opens at 5 a.m. on May 6th, and it's going to stay open until 11:30 that night. So that way you generally have, 3 hours set aside here for class on your schedule, so that should fit pretty comfortably that way. Because we got a little bit off kilter, we had our midterm comprised of many more chapters than the final does. There are only 4 chapters here, although some of the questions will put a little bit more challenge in your path. Once again, you can use the textbook to complete this exam. I would not suggest trying to take the exam without your textbook available to you. I've got 2+ hours. That's very generous. I don't think it should take most of you more than an hour, but there's the range of times to finish. That means, of course, that we're not going to meet next Tuesday. This is our last class meeting, so don't come. Great.
I won't come.
Okay.
I have written on
Promise?
one thing not to come.
Okay, good. The exam is again one of those where once you open it, you need to complete it. You don't want to take the dog for a walk in the middle of it because it will time itself out, and that'll be very nasty. I'm hoping to have your grade completed by the following week then, by May 13th. I should have all the speeches graded, and there are some short answer ones here that I have to hand score, so you won't be able to immediately see how you did on the exam. But this might be handy for you too, just to jot these down before you actually start the test. It tells you which questions are associated with which chapters, and that just makes it go faster for you as you go along. As this class comes to a close, I have to say that there are some classes where, you get to the last day and you go, oh, that was nice, and you just go on about your business. Then there are other classes that you finish on the very last day and you go, oh, thank God. I don't think this thing would ever end. And then there are classes like this one where you go, oh, damn, I'm going to miss seeing these people, because you've been a truly enjoyable group to spend 3 hours on Tuesday nights with for this past semester. So I wish you all the very, very best, and take care. Hope to see you around.
These are ours now?
Those are yours. Oh, one other, here's just a cautionary thing for all of you. As you wrap up all of your classes over the course of the next week or so, there are nuggets of learning that you may want to preserve for future reference. You know, for some of you, you may want to hang on to, you know, the copies of the outline templates, because you're probably going to have to give a speech at some point in time. But there are other classes that you're taking too, where maybe there's handouts or some other things that you may want to copy and preserve just for your own reference in the future. Don't let all of those good resources go the way. Also, I'll give you this caution as well. As you prepare to go out and approach your first job in your career, one of the things that I would suggest is that if you are working right now with a professor or an instructor in your field, and you want to have a reference from that person in the future, talk to them before the semester ends. It's just amazing what it will do if someone comes up to the instructor before the last day of class and says, at some point I would like to use you for a reference. That kind of cements a mental image of you in that person's mind. So that's not a bad thing to do either, to start building that dossier of yours, so to speak.
Ms. Sharpman, you're still recording.
No, that's okay. I'll turn it off when we get done.
She'll just edit it out. She'll just edit herself out.
Thanks for feeding us every Tuesday.
You guys are awesome.
I
You're
know.
welcome.
No, that.
Nice meeting you, Don.
What?
Nice meeting you.
Oh, nice meeting. Yeah, nice meeting you.
Nice meeting everyone. Nice meeting them.
It's somewhat.
I'm gonna visit.
What it is. At times a little of a blur.
Right? It's a long time.
Did your brother like not go on Facebook or something?
My mom?
No, your brother.
Oh, brother? He doesn't have internet at his house, the apartment. So he only, he doesn't. I don't know, he wears two jobs.
Time's turn?
Third time's a charm, and often is, isn't it? Crazy, crazy.
He goes to my mom's every Monday and looks at his email and Facebook and all that.
I sent him a message, he's never responded back to me.
If you want to reach him, do it on Monday nights.
It's a message though, it will save.
I know, I'll mention it to him next time I see him, because I'm gonna be hanging out with him on Thursday. So I'll be like,
Yeah.
We'll see you around.
Yeah. Keep everybody moving.
that way.
Stephanie's gonna find you. Do your parents still live in Monona?
My dad lives at the house with us.
Oh, thank you.
My mom lives in some prairie.
Don't leave your umbrella. Is that your umbrella? Oh, maybe.
And I live with my mom and I spend time.
You know, when I
Like,
look
go to
through,
weekends with my son
if the matching information from another source is 10% or less, I don't think anything of it.
I live in
With
Monona
yours,
now.
Kelsey, I noticed that it was up at like 16%.
My dad's, if you ever want to have a.
And when instructors use these, and I'm gonna use more not to accuse you, berate you, it's just that there are some things that
Wait, Wendy's are
according to
down there.
this, taken from other sources.
So now.
And so,
Because it was a bar
one of the things you
before.
should be aware is that when instructors do this, they can see where the information came
You
I
from.
do this at work, so I didn't even use the internet. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't know,
Oh,
like,
isn't
Looks
that,
really
yeah,
good.
so
Same
this
words.
is, yeah, this is really crazy because
Yeah, I did
That's
this at
where
my
I'm
bed
at.
meal where I have no internet. I did
Okay.
this on my breaks.
See you later,
Okay.
Stebbins.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I match people's words, but
Yeah,
it's crazy.
so evidently someone in some.
Speaking like me, apparently. Thanks, I
yeah.
even had my sister like edit it too, so.
Okay, all right, fine. I just wanted to point
Yeah.
that out because it was up in that range, but, okay,
Yeah.
thanks
Thanks.
Kelsey.
So how late are we able to access the speech information, like, Blackboard?
It should be, I would think, until I post final grades, so we should be all of next week and then halfway into the following week.
Until the 13th?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just wanted to make sure, cause there is some stuff I wanna print out before.
Yeah, it's nice to have those things, because you get down the road and you think, oh, I wish I had that How to Do Monroe's Motivated Sequence, because I have to do this project now, and it's just handy stuff to have.
Don't forget to email that thing to Bill Gates. You might
Oh,
earn
yeah.
$40,000.
And we see Don next fall with a beautiful Rolls Royce rolling up into the
Well,
campus parking
actually,
lot.
actually, I might not be here next fall.
Oh, that's right,
Because-
you're trying to get,
Back up into UW Falls, and they said if I can't get into chemistry, that as long as I have 9 credits and a GPA of 2.0 or better in those credits,
uh-huh.
I'll be able to get in. And of course.